Good morning and welcome to Wednesday's edition of TVC Breakfast. My name
Good to see you. And of course, this is what we know how to do best. But absolutely. Guess what? I walked into the office this morning. Someone was like, "It's Christmas here already."
It's always a gift having you around.
Today is definitely going to be beautiful. There's a lot to chew, on the show this morning. A lot of conversations that we're going to be having. But like we're going to do our newspaper review where Ibrahim will tell us all the headlines from the newspapers, and then at some point we'll go to Abuja for the FCT brief. Back in Lagos, we're going to have a conversation about malaria and innovative measures to make sure that we can eradicate malaria. And then the beautiful Olamide will take us to trending now, everything trending on social media, to bring it to us and we get to dissect it. So please grab your cup of coffee and let's have a fantastic show. But we'll start with the story where Chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, has concluded his tenure after nearly 10 years in office. He has now handed over to Senior National Commissioner to superintend over the transition period. Now, senior political reporter Ademola Lawrence has details on this.
This exit marks the end of a decade-long leadership spanning 2 full 5-year terms, the maximum allowed by the Constitution. His second and final term officially expires in November 2025. During his tenure, Professor Yakubu supervised 2 general elections in 2019 and 2023 and numerous off-cycle governorship polls across the country. His leadership was notable for introducing technology-driven reforms such as Beavers and the High Portal, both aimed at improving transparency and public confidence in Nigeria's electoral process. Stepping into the role in acting capacity is May Agbamuche-Mbu, a seasoned legal practitioner and national commissioner at INEC. Currently heads the Commission's Legal Services, Clearance and Complaints Committee and will now oversee the Commission's affairs pending further directives from the presidency.
To express my gratitude to God Almighty for His divine grace and to appreciate the Honorable former Chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, for giving me the opportunity to serve as acting Chairman of INEC. I'm deeply humbled and honored. We assure you that the Commission will do our very best to maintain and uphold the standards you have set. We will continue from where you stopped. We acknowledge the significant contributions and achievements made by Professor Mahmood Yakubu.
Professor Yakubu made the announcement during a meeting with resident electoral commissioners in Abuja. He explained that his decision aligns with constitutional provisions and ensures a smooth transition in leadership.
Having been privileged to serve the Commission for 10 years, with only a few more weeks to serve, I have taken a decision and conveyed same as provided by Section 306, subsections 1 and 2, of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. In the interim, I am handing over to one of the most senior national commissioners by date of appointment.
In an emotional farewell, the outgoing chairman expressed deep appreciation to INEC staff and resident electoral commissioners nationwide for their commitment, professionalism, and resilience. He urged them to remain steadfast in defending the integrity of Nigeria's democracy.
All that remains at this point is for me to pray that God may continue to bless our country and our democracy.
Professor Yakubu's departure opens a new chapter for the electoral body as Agbamuche-Mbu takes over in an acting capacity to steer INEC through upcoming off-cycle elections and early preparations ahead of 2027. Ademola Lawrence, TVC News, Abuja.
Now, meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has honored the former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, with the national honor of the Commander of the Order of the Niger, CON. Now, this recognition comes after Mr. Yakubu's decade-long tenure as INEC chairman, which ended on October 7 upon the expiration of his second term. Now, he oversaw significant electoral reforms, including technological innovations like the bimodal voter accreditation system, Beavers, and the INEC result viewing portal, IREV, to ensure transparency and credibility in Nigeria's electoral process. Now, during his tenure, INEC conducted several elections, including 2023 general elections, which was widely regarded as credible. Now, President Tinubu emphasized gratitude to Yakubu for his dedicated service to the nation, acknowledging his efforts in strengthening Nigeria's democracy through the conduct of free and fair elections. Wow, here we have it. almost 10 years, or if 10 years, if I'm correct, he's been in office. And if there's anything I know that he really worked on is technology. He brought a lot of that. We spoke about the BVOS, spoke about the IREV, and now he's stepping away, and he's stepping away for May Agbamuche. A lot of people have conversations on social media here and there. A lot of comments have been made, but Etoma, quickly, let me pick your brain on this. What do you make of this, and what do you think about Mary?
Well, Yakubu did the right thing. He didn't cause any controversies. He came quietly, he did his job, and he's leaving without any ruckus. That I will give him commendation for the things he did while he was there, trying to digitize the electoral process in Nigeria is quite commendable. And for Mrs. Agbamuche-Mbu, she's a great Ife. She graduated from Ife University, and she is a lawyer. She is qualified to practice in Nigeria and the UK, and she's been a lawyer for 30 years. So the legal side of things would take a whole lot of expert consideration in INEC. She joined INEC in 2016 and rose to be the highest serving commissioner in INEC. So picking her as to be the acting chairman is just the natural thing to do. And that's what I want to give to Mahmood Yakubu. Everything that he did concerning his tenure, he did according to the book. And that's commendable.
And that's very commendable. And talking about, Agbamuche, she has really good educational background, very strong. I know she went to St. Louis in Kano, where she did her secondary school. And she's been, in INEC. She knows the system very well. So nobody better than her could have done it, because she worked under him. She would be able to continue with the legacies that he has done. Absolutely,
Ria. I couldn't agree more. She is the longest serving commissioner. And I love to see a woman in power. I know that a woman was also sworn in, I believe, in 2015. Amina Zakari. She served for 5 months just before, and Professor Yakubu was also sworn in. I want to see more women in positions like this. But it's very interesting to see. There's Professor Yakubu put a lot of reforms, electoral reforms in place. We're talking about the digitizing of our electoral processes, and that's amazing. But the next INEC boss will determine if these reforms survive or stall, or even morph into better digitization and better electoral processes. But one thing is for certain: the next INEC boss is in the thick of the 2027 elections, and they're going to determine President Tinubu's democratic legacy.
And 2027, I always say, is definitely going to be a movie. But Ibrahim, some people, it's true, it's going to be a movie but Ibrahim, some people are saying that she's not even going to be there for a long time. There's still going to be, a change is going to be made. She's not going to be there for a very long time. But, during her time that she will be there, what do you make of it? We've spoken about her educational background, over 30 years in law. She's very strong when it comes to legal activities. She has paid her dues as well. But, what do you think her tenure will be?
Yeah, well, certainly she's just someone who is going to be there for the interim, because the president, according to section 154 subsection 1 and paragraph 14 subsection 1 of the part 4 of the third schedule of the 1999 Constitution, the president has the prerogative to bring in, to appoint the next INEC chairman, even though Etoma and I had these front and back behind the scene, it's not the right thing, but we know that.
Should the umpire choose the referee?
Exactly. But then that's according to the Constitution. But it is actually not done by the president alone. It has to be presented to the Council of State, that comprise former head of state, former president, and then Senate. It will also be ratified by the Senate. So this person that we expect that the president will appoint, in the meantime, will be someone of integrity, someone who is above 50 years, someone who understands the law and the electoral processes, and then someone who Nigeria will look up to. Because no matter how much the president does it, no matter how much the person that will be appointed will have, talk about integrity and everything, Nigerians will still frown their eyes. Because if you look at the INEC boss, Mahmood Yakubu, who has just bowed out, he actually experienced a whole lot of controversies, but he did very, very well in terms of digitizing our electoral processes, in terms of registering the highest number of electorate in Africa.
Exactly.
Also in terms of, ensuring that our election calendar is stabilized, so much so that we do not have the stability.
Yeah, true, very true. And Brian, if I take you to 2023, people actually said that was a credible, election.
It is.
The election
in
2023. So
election.
he got his accolades for that. In technology as well.
Those who are against it are those whose candidates
Exactly, but you know how it is.
Lost.
But you know how it is.
So
if you lose, you will say that it's bad. If you win, you'll say that it's good. But 2023, we all saw that it was a credible election. And, you know, I give him his accolades for that. Talking about technology, I'm just hoping that the next person that comes, because INEC has a very crucial role to play, especially for this 2027. So I'm just hoping that that new person will live on his legacies and even do better. We're hopeful. Nigerians are hopeful for 2027. We're all hopeful to go and cast our votes, and all our votes must definitely count. Well, we'll take a quick breather now. When we come back, Ibrahim is very ready for the newspaper review. Don't go anywhere. This is